Hello random people on the internet, my name is Banana, and today we got a video that is responding to one of the biggest questions that I ever get whenever I'm streaming, live on YouTube by the way. I stream not consistently at all, but you know, sometimes, occasionally I will stream, but that's aside the point. The question that I probably get most often is, what sword should I go for? And this is a question that is on every Skyblock player's mind, with so many weapons being out in the meta in Hypixel Skyblock. It is definitely a question that must be asked. What should you go for? And I think my main response to that question is usually, what sword do you have? Because I think that there is a bunch of like checkpoints that you can reach when you are getting swords. Now, frankly, I believe that every single player should at least start off with an aspect of the end. But if you cannot afford an aspect of the end at all at this point, I would just farm up enough coins, whether it just be from breaking wheat or like making a pumpkin farm to start off the game. I would farm up enough coins to get at least an ember rod. And I would prefer to just go for an aspect of the end. You can get them pretty cheap, and I still use mine today. Aspect of the end is the best utility based sword in the game, so I definitely go for that one as a sword, or as just a utility thing. Even if you have superior armor and a Midas, if you don't have an aspect of the end, what are you doing? But if you do have an aspect of the end, which is where a lot of the player base is at, what sword do you go for next? A lot of people say Pigman, a lot of people say Leaping, and honestly I disagree with those ones. I think that every player should actually go for the Raider's Axe next. And the Raider's Axe is a much cheaper alternative to the Leaping Sword, and it's a lot less effort, because the Leaping Sword requires a lot of fucking spider eyes, and it requires the spider collection in general, and a lot of players who are at that point in the game can't actually like make an effective use of those minions without like losing out on a lot of their other income. Like if I were to get Leaping Sword, I'd have to get rid of all of my clay minions, and that would just make me very depressed, and I would not want to do that. So I definitely recommend anyone at an aspect of the end who is looking for an upgrade damage wise should go with a Raider's Axe. Or another option that you can do, which isn't that good, but it's definitely something that every player can do, is go for an Aspect of the Dragons. Now, Aspect of the Dragons consistently goes up in price because the economy consistently goes up in value. It's simple economics, but if you can get a cheap, clean Aspect of the End for like 7 million, even like 6 million about, I think that's a snag. If you just use your Aspect of the End for long enough, farming Summoning Eyes, or if you use your Raider's Axe long enough, Aspect of the Dragons is definitely the next upgrade that you want. And it's honestly the last upgrade that is fully necessary in upgrading your sword. Aspect of the Dragons can get most of the work done that you need from a sword, other than Slayer quests, but like you can one-shot zealots handily at that point. So there's really not a reason to get a better sword, but if you are upgrading it, I think that there are two paths that you can go from upgrading Aspect of the Dragons. Now, you can go down the Slayer Sword path, which is the one that I do because it's cheaper, which is where you get like the Pooch Sword or the Reaper Falchion, stuff like that. I run both of these, I love them a lot. And you can also get the Scorpion Foil, which I just do not have because I haven't done Spider. Or you can go the Rich Boy Flex path and get the 50 million coin Midas. Now, at this point in the game, I would not recommend buying a 50 mil Midas due to the release of dungeons being so inevitable and so soon. But, you know, you could still get it. It is still the best all-around sword in the game, and it'll probably still be up top with the swords that come out in dungeons. I can't imagine, if there is something better than the 50 mil Midas, that it will be that much better. And there are a lot of other swords in the game, like the Spicy Thick Tactician Sword can end up being really good, but I don't know if the effort is worth it when you can just buy an Aspect of the Dragons due to the mass amount of them that are on the auction house. Or you could go for something like Pigman, but I don't think Pigman is worth the effort, considering the fact that you need to run pig minions for a long time just to get the Pigman sword, and that is removing a lot of your income that you get from minions every single day. I make 800,000 coins a day just from running these clay minions, and I don't know if I could live without that. And yeah, there's a lot of swords. Yeti sword you could technically go for, but why would you go for the Yeti sword when you can get an Aspect of the Dragons, which is, I think, better. I'm not sure. Yeti sword is a joke. Don't at me. But pretty much, that is all for today's video. I hope this answers everyone's question whenever I do get asked what sword should I go for. There are many options when it comes to swords, so I hope that this narrowed it down for you and really put you on a path where you can get better at Skyblock by focusing in on a couple weapons rather than just going with every single one. It's good that people aren't going to be going around getting all the garbage trash tier swords, such as like Golem sword ever or anything. There's no reason to ever go for swords that are out of this list pretty much, other than honestly, I can't think of many that aren't in this list that you would ever need to get, because the Raider's Axe will carry you through early game by giving you more coins while you're farming Zealots and giving you equivalent damage to something like a Leaping Sword, pretty much. It's a tiny bit less at this point, but it is still a prime weapon to run, especially if you have those foraging collections up, and the more kills you get on it, the better you're going to be doing with that Raider Axe, and Aspect of the Dragons is just a no-brainer to go for. But yeah, I really hope that you guys did enjoy today's video. If you did, smash that like button. I'd very much appreciate it. And maybe even subscribe. That would be really awesome. And that's going to be it for today, guys. Peace out.